Hi guys, this is Shrish and today we are going to do experiment number 3 from C Sharp and .NET Programming Lab. The name of the experiment is Delegate an Event. So now let's get on to the program. So the concepts to be included are declaring, instantiating and invoking delegates, return type covariance, parameter contravariance, event declaration, binding, triggering and handling, lambda expression, anonymous method. So as a part 1 member, so my question is to find based on complex numbers. The question is write a console application in C# by using the concept of delegates and event by performing basic operation on complex numbers. And these are the instructions that have to be followed over here. So now let's get to the program. As you can see over here, I declare a delegate called cal, which takes in two numbers, that is complex number A and complex number B. Now if you see over here, I'm just taking the input for each of these complex numbers. So for complex numbers, there are two parts, A and B. So I'm taking them individually. So this is for the first letter, that is A, and this was second complex number B. So when I merge them, as you can see over here, complex number 1 contains A1 B1 together, so a complex number will be formed in this particular format. Complex number 2 will have this particular format, this particular inputs. And I created a temporary variable of complex number type, and I declared to be 0, and another one called temp1, which we will be using later on. Now I created a menu-driven application, so I provided an option called add two complex numbers, subtract two complex number, then array of delegates, multicasting, then add 10 to a complex number object and subtract 5 to a complex number object. For this particular thing, you have to use anonymous expression, and over here you have to use lambda expression. And for seventh option, I have given exit 0, and that is exit when you press 0. So I'm taking in, and over here what I'm doing is based on whatever option they did, I'm passing it. As you can see over here, there's for addition and there's for subtraction. We'll see the functions later on. Then third one is array of delegates. Using array of delegate concept, we are doing it. And over here for fourth one, we are using multicasting. The fifth one, we are using anonymous addition. And the sixth one over here, as you can see, it's a lambda addition. So now let's first finish anonymous and lambda addition. As you can see over here, it's taking the temp value I created over here will be used. So the number x will be used over here. As you can, complex number x will be passed over here. And here what we're doing here is we are taking the complex numbers real part and adding 10 to it, and we are storing it in temp.real. And over here what we're doing is we don't have to, because if you're adding 10, there's nothing is being added to the imaginary part, so 0 is being added over here. So the number temporary value is being returned as the output, as you can see over here. Here what we're doing is we are merging both the numbers again together, that is because it's separated as real and imaginary, and we're printing it out. Now for lambda expression, as you can see over here, I'm extending using lambda expression, and I'm subtracting the real part with -5, and imaginary part won't be subtracted because nothing is being subtracted in imaginary part. And as I did before, I'm merging them up and storing in temp1, and I'm displaying temp1. Now let's see the complex class. As you can see, this is a default constructor with no parameters, and this one, what it does is it stores the value that has been passed into real and imaginary, so we can use on later. So as over here you're seeing addition. So it takes in two complex numbers A and B, and we are using a temporary variable over here. So temporary dot real, it takes the real part alone, and is equal to A dot real plus B dot real, and temporary dot imaginary. So img is equal to A dot imaginary plus B dot imaginary. So then what we are doing is we are returning temp. So both the forms will be returned together, like merged and returned together. Subtraction is same as addition, only over here we are subtracting instead of adding. And this is just to print out, that is display. So it prints the imaginary, a real part, and along with plus I, then after that it will be printing the imaginary part. Now let's just run the program. As you can see over here, I have to import the variable. Let's input as 5 and 3, and next one is 4 and 2, and let's try adding them up. As you can see over here, it's perfectly added with all the imaginary part and everything. Now let's try subtracting them. And as you can see, they are getting subtracted. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 3 minus 4 is 1. So 1 is perfect. Now let's see array of delegates. So the option is 3, and in array of delegates I'm doing subtraction. So using array of delegate, when you subtract, as you can see over here, we are getting the same action. And for multicasting also I'm doing subtraction. So when I click the option, we're getting the correct answer over here. Now for adding 5 to the complex numbers, let's do it once more. So let's try number 6 and 7 and 3, sorry, 6 and 7 and 3 and 4. Now let's try adding 10 to the complex object by anonymous expression. What I did is take the first complex number and add it up. So when I do it, as you can see over here, for the 6 it turns into 16 because we added 10. Now for next part over here, we have to subtract 5. The answer should be 1 plus I7. So let's try it out. As you can see, it's 1 plus I7. So this brings us to the end of the program. Thank you for watching.